Shalom, Kol Halor, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, which will be the new government set up on earth by the Lord, by our King and Savior, Yahushai, which will be 12,000 men from the 12,000 from the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only thing. All right. This is an Israelite thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone, coming at you with another lesson in truth in response to the latest events. And this video aired yesterday morning. I believe this one when I saw this one, and it says Israel in full panic, and you know all the videos with the scoffing and the Iranians and different Arabs making fun of the plight of the Israelis. And I said to myself that they're not going to stand for this, and they didn't. Barely 24 hours later. But let's play this one first. Because just like when crimes are done, most crimes, murders and violent crimes that are done by pale men, so-called white men. Not only here in America, but worldwide, collectively. But here in America, in the West, they make sure that the face of crime is not them. So they will go out of their way to find images and news stories of brown men or women committing crimes. Just know that there's always way more being done by them. So this is just another one of those cases. Because they always have to make themselves look good or make themselves look like the victim. So right away, when they were being shown to not be invincible, to not be unstoppable, all right? And anyone who has a spiritual eye can see that these people are not the people of the Lord. And I'm going to get one of my favorite scriptures on the subject matter. And it's just so, especially now. That's Deuteronomy 33 and 29, because it clearly tells you, 28. Deuteronomy 33:28. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon the land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. These people are not prospering, and they're fighting to steal and take more land and covet more land, do more colonialism. Just watched a video with Richard Wolff talking about this is the end of colonialism. That colonialism has been being fought for the last 100 years, and this is the end of it. And Esau Edom, a so-called white man, is the #1 colonizer, and colonizing basically is a soft way of saying rape, rob, murder, stealing, pillaging, enslaving, and taking of other people's shit. And they're guilty of that. And then they set themselves up to be judges, lawyers, policemen, etc., and try to and now walk around in their gated communities with their white picket fence and try to walk around as a moral compass of what the world should be like. All right. But the moment you expose how they got their wealth, their power, their generational wealth, which is passed on, all of a sudden it's CRT, or you become the problem. And that's what's going on here. These people are frauds. And they're definitely not the people of the Lord. They are not dwelling in peace and safety alone. And the prophecies are exposing them every moment from this point forward. All right. For the last, since 2007, since the men of the Lord came on the airways. All right. They've been being exposed by prophecy. And a lot of people don't really pay attention to prophecy. They pay attention to religion, which teaches a doctrine that goes against what the Bible says. So without any further ado, we're going to play about, maybe 3 or 4 minutes of this video. I have 3 videos lined up, and then I have a couple in my phone that I want to play.
I think they're in a bit of a panic now because they absolutely need us to come in now, and we haven't done it yet. And I think that's scaring the crap out of them because I don't think they expected Iran to do so much damage so quickly, and they're just getting hit. And we're just seeing these reports: tens of thousands of Israelis fleeing by boat to Cyprus or crossing over into Egypt to get out. Do you think that they're shocked, that they're worried?
I think it would be very strange if they weren't, and they haven't ever seen anything like this. We're seeing real destruction, and I think just about like half an hour before,
which is showing you that they're not the people. They're not dwelling in peace and safety alone. And now it was tens of thousands yesterday. Now I believe it's over 9 million. So where's the prophecy in the Bible where the Israelites would go home, and then they would have to flee their land in the millions? Because come on, man, these are not the people. Now, the prophecy of the land being stolen by Amalek, being stolen by the nation of Edom, well, they fit that prophecy to the T. The shoe fits wearing, and that shoe is fitting them like Cinderella. Nobody else fits that shoe except for the nation of Edom.
For this podcast, there was another major strike by Iran, I think the largest since the first couple of days, that did significant damage in several Israeli cities. If this it goes on, it's not that Israel can't survive, but Israel, again, I think the myth of invincibility is being ripped apart before our eyes. And that's something that is I don't think Israelis themselves really are going to be able to handle very well. I guess we're seeing it already with the people fleeing the country. We've always said that Netanyahu was going to do this one day, and that his plan was to bring the Americans in behind him.
And that's prophecy, prophecy right there. It tells you, quite frankly, in Jeremiah 50 and 49. Let's get the one in 50. I'm there first. 45. It says, therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate. Right? And the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Israel is being destroyed and going to be destroyed, simply to draw America into this battle, to draw Babylon into it. That prophecy has been fulfilled. This thing is on. So now comes the civil unrest and the enforcement of the MOTB. That's it. And those things are on the table as well. It's all playing out. President Orange Powerpuff dude could not take, his Jewish brethren, because according to resources, he converted to Judaism 3 years ago, which makes sense the way he's supporting, AIPAC and Israel and all these different things that, basically is not America first, is Israel first. 100% is Israel first over America. America is dying, horrendous internal salakia, cancer. America, look at Kensington, look at Oakland and San Francisco, man. All right, and then you have all the real estate crashes in all these major cities. It's deteriorating, but the result of that was Trump couldn't have all this imagery of Israel being, leveled, Tel Aviv being destroyed. So Trump fell for the bait, or he completed his plan, whatever he and Bibi Milkowski was speaking about to each other on the phone behind closed doors, and this. And the names of all the videos and the channels that they're posted on at the bottom of every screen. That's it. I'm not doing more than that. I do videos all day, every day. Post the link. No, shut up, man. Do something. You type. Do something. All right, help. Be a part of this. All right. Is it so hard to just, to just type in something real quick? You want to look something up? Jake, man, they're never. Now, you used to wonder why we're in the situation that we're in, man. All right. Jake want everything fair to them. I find that highly offensive. First of all, I am not the most tech savvy person when it comes to these computers. I've learned how to look up, find stuff, find videos, and do my lessons and use my phone and my technology to do my part. And I can't do anymore. So I really find that offensive and irritating. You need to post up the link, brother. Now, I don't know how. Never have known how. All right. All this tech stuff, man, that's for weak men, man. Look, man, I'm from a time when men, I don't even belong in this time, man. I don't even know how the Spirit made me say it. I belong in a time when men walked around with swords hanging from their hips. All right, when judgment would happen. That's the time frame that I belonged in. And that's the time frame that's coming again. The Wadi Yahweh for that. All right, when the judges are going to be released to judge men again. All right, in the name of the Lord, with the Lord. All right. So anyway, next video here is full spectrum survival. And you can see red alert. This is your last warning. Trump tells Iran to surrender or perish. Worldwide threat. Trump, and I don't even know if he got, permission from Congress, because lately, the three branches of government, well, our three branches of government is the joke anyway, because the Israelis and their private entities have rule over it anyway. APAC, the IRS, the Federal Reserve. The three branches of the government really don't even really make a difference here in America anymore. And the president operates without the other two. So, but I don't know if he got okay from Congress to do that, but he basically has started. World War III was already going, but it's no shadow of a doubt that it's all the way on. And the recompenses and the retaliation, this is just Ezekiel the 38th chapter walking off the pages, man. Because by them doing what they did to Iran, that's going to bring China and all these other individuals into it, because China gets a lot of its energy from Iran and Russia. Biblically, fulfilling prophecy, it said they will be a guard unto them. So now you're gonna have to deal with the mighty Russians, man, and their military might, their technology. And for you Americans that don't know that a food, it's just like Americans that believe that Negroes are only 13%, 14% of the population. You're stupid. You really believe that orchestrated lie. All right, it's way more of them that has probably double that amount. All right, and it's way less of pale people than what they tell you. Remember, they bring in melanated people from other countries and label them as white. All right, so this man is a liar straight up and down. So it's about to really, really get bad here, man. And on so many different fronts. All right, on so many different fronts. You are not safe.
The understanding that we are moving into a global conflict, even while the United States of America says that there will be no more need for American military presence inside of Iran. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to try to hand this off to other Middle Eastern countries, including Israel, possibly with Israel.
So you bomb a country that has capability to fight back and has very powerful allies that definitely could fight you as well. And you think you just get you get to hit them and just walk off the playground? No, they're going to want their lick back. And it also opened up the door for all manner of false flags, because, America the West is known for that, to commit these heinous atrocities against their own people and then blame it on other people. So, and then they have a reason, to take away more freedoms for your safety. This is the type of bull. So the amount of chaos is about to happen. And we welcome it. I welcome it. Bring it on. Because I want the Lord to come back, man. All right. And these birth pains, all right, are happening. And that's the only way that this baby of chaos is going to be born. All right. You can't have nothing happened. And then we just continue to be oppressed and oppressed and oppressed and oppressed. All right. People who don't want this to happen. And the only way for the kingdom to come is, the scripture tells you quite plainly that, that through much suffering, the kingdom of heaven will be ushered in. Roughly paraphrase. Someone could put that on the comment board, Baba Kashar.
At the lead of this. They want a complete change in the administration inside of Iran. They want a complete regime change
So they want a puppet. They want someone to be Israeli friendly that's going to oppress the Iranian people so that the Israelis can have their way in a place where they don't even belong. The whole world knows that these people are not the children of Israel. All right. And their grip on the world, they've lost it. What they're about to do is use their might, and they're using it through America. They're about to matter of fact, let's just grab it. Wisdom of Solomon. The 2nd chapter. All right. That whole chapter is fire, but the point that I'm speaking of right now is in Wisdom of Solomon 2:10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. Not let morality be the law of justice. Let our strength. I have more guns, more bullets than you. I have more missiles than you. Therefore, I am the law of justice. That's it. I don't care if you're being done wrong. That's how this Edomite has worked. Here's how he's always worked. For that which is feeble is found nothing worth. You can't even defend yourself. You're nothing worth. Fuck you. You're just going to be my slave. That has always been their mentality. Oh, you can't fight me back, then I guess you have to serve me. That is their mentality and always has been. And I'm going to pass the wealth on to my children. If you speak about it, CRT, anti-semantics. They come with that bullshit. Therefore, let us wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. He is clean, contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us and are offending of the law. And Esau, Edom offends the law of the Lord daily while claiming to be Christians, while claiming to be Jewish. Okay? And they objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. Man, that's right. And then they're mad because why? He professeth to have knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. They know that we're the children of the Lord. And they hate the fact that we call ourselves that. And we're calling them out on that fraud. They're going to war over this. And they're going to lose.
They call it in the area. Here's what is concerning me more than anything else. Russia, right now, says that they will not tolerate this sort of geopolitical domination.
Exactly.
China is already reported to be activating an advanced military presence. China will probably take Taiwan very, very soon in a way that disrupts the entire global order.
And the global order is what? The Esau, Edom ruling here out of the West. And they're going to be knocked out of power. America cannot proceed or stay in the position it is in without Taiwan. They need all those little electronics and all those things that come from there. And China's going to take back Taiwan back into its. Taiwan was a part of China, man. Same way Ukraine is a part of Russia. All right, as simple as that. And America trying to justify borders, and Americans are mad because all this mess with Israel over there in Western Asia, it had nothing to do with America. Those weren't American problems, but they sure are now.
That means your ability to get supplies is completely gone.
Yep.
Guys, we only make 20% of the things at Walmart here in the United States of America. The rest comes from China or other Asian Pacific regions. So to think that your world will stay the same as this world changes geopolitically is every prepper is kicking in their graves. They're knocking down the urns. They're dusting their own ashes off. They're kissing their own ash goodbye. Right now, we are watching a complete pivot. The United States of America, our military, in the last 50 days, has gone from being a very pansy wailing, not knowing what's going on, who are you, a very walking on your tiptoes kind of military, the laughing stock of the strong countries of our world.
Absolutely. And America's not prepared for war, not ground fights. They don't have the manpower. All right. They got a lot of women in there. They got a lot of, alphabet stuff that's going on. And the generation of people that are at the age to fight in America are completely against this war, completely against the Israeli, and the whole world is calling them counterfeit. All right, no one wants to, and they're all speaking against it, sending their children over there to go die for these people who just use them and call them cattle. Name and title of the video is at the bottom.
That it should be abundantly obvious at this moment in time, at this moment in history, who God's chosen actually are. And it ain't the Polish Bibi Netanyahu.
That's right.
Who is the real Netanyahu? What does he stand for? What are his beliefs? What is his story? His story begins in October 1949.
Let's get this real quick. All right. It says, he was made to reprove our thoughts. Yes, we were. This is Jacob reproving Esau's thoughts. He is grievous unto us even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Because why? Because the law, statutes, and commandments apply to us, and we used to, and we're once again starting to follow them, which is why they're being exposed. All right, it says, and this is as far as Bibi Netanyahu, not a Jew, all right, and the rest of his people who are fraudulently claiming to be the people of the Lord. It says, we are esteemed as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounced the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast of God his Father. Let us see if his words be true. Let us prove what will happen in the end of him. So these people are hell-bent on destroying us and are angry because we point out the fact that they are counterfeit. All right. Just like Candace Owens did. And Candace Owens is basically in bed with the enemy. All right. And have the enemy's children. All right. She's had terror babies. She is a mother of Edomites, even though she's an Israelite woman. Because color doesn't determine your nationality. The seed of the father does. All right. And Candace Owens has no covering. All right. The scriptures are clear. Though hand join in hand. All right. I believe that's Isaiah the 13th chapter. Death of her and her children, right along with Esau, Edom, is promised to her. Unfortunately for her. But right now, she's speaking a lot of truth. Okay? Matter of fact, let me get that before I let the video play again. I think that's Isaiah 13. Yep. Especially once this madness happens. But in verse Isaiah 13 and 12, it says, I started 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. The wicked is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Include Amalek, the ones who are claiming to be the people of the Lord. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. That happened when the Iranians started, destroying them, and all of a sudden, these Israelis got a taste of their own medicine. Okay. They didn't like it when their children were dying and their property was being destroyed, etc., etc., and they were fleeing for their lives in panic. And they were so bold and proud a moment ago. All right. And it says, and will lay low the haughty and the terrible, and I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that's an Israelite man. All right. Not an Edomite father, a husband, Candace. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and earth shall move out of her place, and the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. Because when those arrows start flying from one end of the earth to another, and we're just moments away from that, it's going to shake the whole earth. And it shall be as a chase roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up, And they shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. So you got a lot of people that are leaving America, leaving places, or being told to go back to their own lands and get out of areas. That's happening. All right. And also people going to flee to their own kind as for safety. And everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Candace, you're joined unto him. You're going to fall by the sword. There's no ifs, ands, there's no way around it. All right. Their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. That could very well be you, Candace. All right. That could very well be you. So, I advise you to abandon those tear babies and leave him. Real talk. Sounds harsh, but I don't know what else to tell you. Call on the true name of Yahweh Shem Shai, because you gave birth to your enemies.
1 year after Israel's formation. This is when Netanyahu was born, the second child of a historian. His paternal grandfather was a rabbi and a Zionist writer. His name was Nathan Milikowski. Later in life, he Hebraized his surname from Milikowski to Netanyahu, a name which means God has given.
This is Yair Netanyahu's DNA test that has been leaked. You can see right there his Y DNA is RM198. Descendants of RM198 come from Poland, Russia, Germany, and other European countries. Does this look Semitic to you? Does this look Middle Eastern?
So, remember, Middle East is just a direction, is Western Asia. And those places in Russia where that blood type came from, those people that it came from, they aren't the original inhabitants of Russia. All right? That's one thing about this whole DNA thing. It tells a partial truth. It doesn't tell you the whole truth, because what happens is that Edom does not acknowledge the migration of people. That'd be like coming to America and taking the DNA of the people that live in Wyoming right now versus the people who lived in Wyoming 1,000 years ago. You can't take the blood right now and then determine, oh, you're from here and you're from there. That doesn't work. And so that DNA stuff, besides, I've told you 1,000 times that whole 23andMe was Esau's attempt to find the Israelites that are scattered among the heathen that have the appearance of the heathen. That's what that was for. And they're not able to do it. All right. With that many generations of intermixing and being scattered and seed being spread all over the place, you're not going to do it. But I honestly believe, all right, I'm not saying that there's fact, but I believe that was the point of the whole 23andMe's, is to get to people, because they're trying to find that God gene. All right, you look at movies like, Code 8, and what was the one with Jamie Foxx, Power, all these movies. There was another one that just came out not too long ago. All these Jakes had, spiritual power, raising that little boy, whatever his name was, and he had to, so they know this to be true. They know that Jake is something special about Jacob, all right? And the world knows that these people are counterfeit, and they're being exposed, man. So, and all this was leading up to this final Third World War. So now that, they struck back, this is leading us into Ezekiel, further into Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, to fulfill it. And I always talk about Ezekiel 36, 37, 38. All right. You can't have those three books are very important, because Ezekiel 36 tells you when Bibi Netanyahu or Bibi Milkowski, when they stole the heritage of the Israelites and stole the land of Israel and claimed and converted and claimed to be the people of the Lord. And then they've taught that fraudulent history up to this point. That's why their children, their youth are so delusional and think they're something that they're not, think they're special and they're not. And they found out the hard way when the Iranian bombs came for them. The Iron Dome has failed. All right. There is no invincibility. They are not the people of the Lord. All right. And then 37, speaks about the great awakening of the scattered Israelites. in the valley of Jehoshaphat. I mean, in the shadow of the valley of death. And that this third world war is going to kick off in the valley of Jehoshaphat. That will be Ezekiel 38. So Ezekiel 37 to 36, 37, 38 are very important chapters in the Bible and very important scriptures referring to modern day prophecy and what's happening now in these last moments of the last days. And well, here we go.
هدف مشروع ایران هستند. آمریکا با این اقدامی که انجام داد علیه ایران و حریم هوایی ایران را شکست و جنایت علیه ایران انجام داد دیگه جایی در منطقه غرب آسیا نداره.
آقای رئیس جمهور آمریکا
شما شروع کردید و ما تمومش خواهیم کرد.
He said, you started it, we will finish it. It's only 25 seconds. Let's play it again. You got to read the ticker tape.
هدف مشروع ایران هستند. آمریکا با این اقدامی که انجام داد علیه ایران و حریم هوایی ایران را شکست و جنایت علیه ایران انجام داد دیگه جایی در منطقه غرب آسیا نداره. آقای رئیس جمهور آمریکا شما شروع کردید و ما تمومش خواهیم کرد.
He said, you started it, President of the United States, you started it, we shall finish it. So this thing is far from over. Let's play one more.
Speak to Samantha Vinograd, who I'm told is joining us as well right now, a national security contributor to CBS. She also joins us on the phone. She was a former assistant secretary for counterterrorism at Homeland Security. And Sam, I know you served before that on the National Security Council as well. There has been so much reporting around the threat in the United States over the past few years, the risk to officials involved with actions against Iran, the risk of sleeper cells here in the United States. When we talk about retaliation, should we be thinking about the homeland?
Margaret, I am deeply concerned about the potential for retaliatory attacks here in the homeland by Iran. Iran's nuclear program has certainly taken a hit. We will await the battleground assessment to understand how deep that hit was. But we do know that Iran is likely going to rely on its asymmetric advantage in this conflict with the United States and Israel, which is its proxies all around the world. Iran has for decades had the both intent and the ability to direct and inspire individuals to attack American, Israeli, and Jewish interests and assets all around the world. During my time at Homeland Security, we tracked
let's pause
Iranian threats here in the homeland, as you mentioned, against former government officials involved in the strike.
All right. So that to me, from what I've seen, from what I gather, is just American Western propaganda. All right, coming from all these NGOs, these Israeli-run, controlled NGOs. All right, because just from the outside looking in, man, it just, and also from serving in the military, and when you're able to assess information and assess what I've actually seen over the last 20, 25 years of my life, a lot of these things that they said about Iran has not really been true. I don't see them as the aggressors. When you honestly look at Iran and a lot of those countries, and you look at it honestly, what you usually see is retaliatory actions from things being done to them. And I don't know what makes anybody believe that you can just, Orange Puff Boy or anybody else, that you can just do things like this to people and they not just respond to it. Even a coward will eventually swing back if you keep hitting them,
Against Qasem Soleimani, against dissidents, against journalists, against the Saudi ambassador during the Obama administration, and against everyday Americans. So right now, while Iran has certainly taken a hit to its nuclear program,
and she said that as if America has not assassinated, killed, and destroyed their people, dropped bombs on these people, and did all manner of things to them. They see the talk points coming from the West is like the same talk points that comes from Western Asia with the Israelis. Like they're just these innocent people who've never done anything to anyone, and they're just being picked on and attacked in that whole sort of thing. If you're not controlling the resources of food and just treating people like shit, and in a lot of cases attacking people, just and taking people's lands, houses, and homes from them. You know, I just find it, you know, it's just so hypocritical, man. But here, we'll wrap with this one, because they're just being found to be liars, man. This is Deuteronomy 33:29. Happy art thou, Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemy shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. One more. Which is Colossians 3:25. Well, I guess I can get Galatians. I'm there first. Galatians 4:6 will work. Was it Galatians 3:6? I should have stuck with the one. That was Galatians 6:7. All right. And it reads, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So all these crimes that has been committed by Esau, Edom, out of the west and out of the land of Israel, which they stole, everything that they sowed is what's, you know, the seeds that they planted. All right. Well, everything that they sowed, they shall reap. Well, so with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash Kwam Yasharala Abad Babal.